Hello everyone, this is the 11th learning material in the lecture series of Programming in C language. This is our second module. Introduction and subsection that we will be discussing is Fundamentals of C language. Let's begin with the module. Friends, today we will learn about the various data types in the C language and their declaration syntax. To understand the concept of data type, we will consider a simple example of a go down. Let's consider a go down which have three types of items divided in three classes, that is plastic, metal and glass. Whenever a new item comes in the go down, the supervisor of the go down will check the type of the item and then put that item in one of the mentioned class. Similarly, in C language we have data types. In C language, the computer is acting as our go down. Whenever we give some new data to the computer, we have to put that data into certain class using the keywords and the identifiers. Let's understand the need and advantage of these data types. C supports several different types of data, each of which may be represented differently within the computer's memory. The need to differentiate the distinct data types arises because of the fact that the computer is a very organized type of machine. It's need to be informed properly that while selecting a random memory location for a given identifier, what type of data is about to store in there, so that computer will select an appropriate location. Let's see the advantages. Reduce the computer's load as it doesn't need to call other functions to figure out the type of data. It avoids complication, mixing of numerical method and also the use of extra memory. In this section, we will be getting into more details of various data types in C. There are initially two types of data types. One is digits and other is letter. Always remember that the data can be of two types. It's either the input that we fed to the computer or the output that computer will give us. C uses three majorly categorized data types: integer numbers, floating point numbers, and characters. The few keywords mentioned earlier like short, long, signed, and unsigned can be used with the combination with these basic data types to increase the memory location. Okay friends, let's move on to learn about how to declare these data types in C language with proper syntax. We have already saw the concept of the keywords before. So there are few keywords which are used for the purpose of the data type declaration. Data declaration means we are specifying the type of data that we want to handle for the given task. So after the declaration, the data type, computer will handle that particular identifier on the basis of the rules for that specific data types. Let's look at the syntax of these data types. Syntax: data type space identifiers. This syntax will be used for specifying the data type with use of proper identifier which will occupy some memory location. Data type space identifier is equal to value. This syntax will be used for specifying the data type with use of a proper identifier whose value is also provided by the user. So in the given memory location, we will have a signed value. At this point, it is necessary to have a little idea about the declaration used for the data types. First data type is integers, meaning 4, 28, 20,000, etc. The necessary keyword used for integer data type are int, short and long. The next type is floating points, meaning 6.0, 3.14, 0.0875, etc. The necessary keyword used for float data types are float, double and long. The last but not the least data type is characters, meaning capital C, small a, Ram Patil, etc. The necessary keyword used for character data types are char, signed and unsigned. Here, let's take a few moments just to understand that what memory of computer is allocated for different data types in C language. We have already studied a little about the bits as well as ASCII codes. So as you know that computer auto converts the digits and characters in its language for the simplicity. Hence, after conversion, each type of data occupies some different amount of memory. Hence, in order to have a nice accuracy, reliability, and the speed, it is very much important to specify the correct data type for the correct operation. The few keywords mentioned earlier, like short, long, signed, and unsigned, can be used with the combination with these basic data type to increase the memory location. In the table shown, the size occupied by the basic data types in C is mentioned. The integer data types occupy 2 bytes of memory. The character used for it is %d. The float data type occupies 4 bytes of memory. The character used for it is %f. The char data type occupies 1 bytes of memory. The character used for it is %c. The double data type occupies 8 bytes of memory. The character used for it is %lf. Let's take a few examples for each data type. We have already seen the syntax for declaring data types, that is, data type space identifier or data type space identifier is equal to value. First, int space sum. The data type used here is integer with the use of identifier sum. The second example is also of integer. int space capital A comma capital B comma capital C comma capital D comma count. The third example is of float. Float space A comma B mul is equal to 1 comma add equal to 0 comma count equal to 7. In this example, we have assigned a value to the identifiers, that is mul is equal to 1, add is equal to 0 and count is equal to 7. The fourth example is car space name in square bracket nothing. This is a character type data type. Thank you. Here we have finished the theory part of this subsection.